Hello, my name is Kenneth. I'm here to show you a bit about the new Invicta wheel we just announced, the software features specifically. So we spent a lot of time developing this wheel and the software for it, and I'm really excited to actually show it off for the first time. It's been over a year since we started development on this, so it's going to be real cool to actually finally show this to you guys. If you look at the software, you're probably pretty familiar with how it looks, but we got a new menu right here. In the beginning, I just want to show you we got back buttons. It's pretty cool, and then you can show them actually. They show up in RaceHub just like all the other things behind your wheel. So first and foremost, I want to show off the display menu, because this is where all the new stuff is for the display on the Invicta wheel. And here you have your different layouts that we've created for you, and then you also have SimHub support, which I will talk a bit more about later. Then we have, of course, the option to turn up and down the brightness. We made sure for all you basement people that the brightness can go real low, or at least as low as the display allows. And then, of course, you can set up your units, like kilometers per hour, miles per hour. What do you want your fuel to be measured in, pressure, and of course your temperature. And then we also have a few extras down here, so you can get flag notifications on your wheel, for yellow flags in this case. And you can get car assist notifications, so if you change your brake bias, it'll pop up and show in a bigger way than you can see at the bottom here. And then you also have rotational effects, which you can turn off. So right now the gear will actually turn with the wheel, but if I turn that off, it'll stay static if you don't like it. So let's look at the layouts for now. I'll just show them off without actually being in a game, and then I'll show something in a game later. So right now we have the formula layout. We spend a lot of time figuring out what kind of data most games gave us, so that we don't show stuff on the display that isn't going to be filled out by data, because you don't want to have like a whole element of the screen that's blanked out, or it says NA like it does right now. So that was a big priority for us, to have great support over a wide range of sims. Of course, there's some limitations, and some games won't support everything, but I think we've struck a pretty good balance with all our layouts here. The formula layout focuses on DRS, you have the engine map, and then of course your energy recovery system. Other than that, it's actually pretty similar to the GT layout. The GT layout does give you the track time. The formula layout, we chose to take that out because you don't usually do endurance formula races. And then you also have things like TC cut, ABS, and stuff you don't usually see on formula cars. So other than that, it's fairly similar to the formula layout, and again, we focused on having as many things as possible that as many sims as possible support. And then of course you have the road car layout. It's a fairly simple, clean layout. If you just want to have some fun and don't want all this fancy nonsense in your face, then you can do it. And of course it supports the rotational stuff too, and it actually supports it on more elements, so it's a bit more flashy in that sense. So on the game setup page, because you probably want to know which games support what data, so you're not confused about, oh, well, it's not showing up or whatever. You can go to the settings page, the game setup page, and then you click on the data button next to the game, and it'll show you exactly what kinds of data each game support, and even if it's car dependent or session dependent, so you don't have any weird situation where you don't understand, why is ERS not working in this game? Oh, it's literally not there because it's a rally game. There you go. So if you are confused about what data is supported where, you can go check it here. You can also download RaceHub and go check it, even if you don't have the games installed or anything like that. Just download RaceHub, install it, go to the game setup page, and you can go to any game and see, oh, does my game support what I want from this display? And then just scroll through the list and then see if there's anything missing. Of course, if you do have anything that you feel like we're missing, please let us know, and we'll try and implement it if it's possible. Yeah, let's head on to a track and see what's up. So when you boot a game up, you'll see this screen, awaiting sim connection. This will let you know that we have detected that the game is running, but we are not ready to receive data yet, and that usually just means that you are not in a race. So once we get into the race, let the PC load. Now you see data everywhere, you see time, all that stuff. And once I get into the car, I can actually see stuff's going on here. So yeah, this is our pit limiter screen. It'll automatically disappear once you get out of the pits. So one neat thing is that we have these input bars, so you can actually see your pedal input if you have Asetek pedals, of course. And if you can make sure that you're actually pushing down completely by seeing the small glow around the bar. So it'll glow up whenever you actually hit the max point. But yeah, you got your fuel measurement, you got your wheel measurements, you can see the state of everything depending on the colors. Some of this is still early, so there might be some things that don't look quite right at the moment. So let's boot up ACC and change to our GT layout. So here I have the game set up where the ignition is off whenever I'm in the pits or when I'm starting a practice session. So here you'll see that you have this ignition off screen, then I can turn the ignition on and then hold this down to turn the engine on, and I'll see the pit limiter interface pop up. And then I can drive out of the pits and it'll automatically disappear. Of course, that's depending on how you have got stuff set up. So if you have the manual pit limiter enabled, you will of course have to click a button or whatever. You also have this overlay system that I should be able, there we go. So if I change my brake bias, it'll pop up with a brake bias screen here, and then it'll go away again once I stop changing the setting. And of course, if I drive like a maniac, it'll throw a yellow flag, and then it'll pop up here with a yellow flag. Of course, you also have all the other features from all the other wheels, where you have the flags on every single LED on the wheel if you want to, and the wheelbase and all that stuff. And it'll automatically disappear, pop up again once I'm on the track. We tried to make a really sleek, cool animation system for all this, and I think we succeeded pretty well with it. But yeah, in ACC you can see the brake temperature is actually updating. And if I push the brakes down enough, it might take a little while here, but you should be able to actually see the color of the brake disc in here change. So we do have reactive UI elements like that. And of course, we also have the road car layout. So let's just check that out. Go in here, change the road car. You can change anything in real time. It'll automatically update, and there shouldn't really be any problems with that. So now at the road car layout, you can see the elements changing position based on my input. The colors automatically reacting to max RPM values and stuff like that. And also, UI elements do update automatically depending on what car you're in. So in this case, once I get beyond 240 kilometers per hour, if I can get it there. So you'll see here, once I reach 240, it'll snap up, and then it says 300. So you actually always have an accurate measurement of the speed, and you don't have a situation where we show something that's incorrect to the user, like say the bar just goes all the way up and then the number never changes or anything like that. We don't want that. So, but I really do like this road car layout. It's very I do like how polished it is. It's not necessarily the most fancy thing in the world, but it does have a lot of cool stuff on it. We want a fairly tight experience that's very polished. So it's not about having as many features as possible. It's more about making sure that everything we make makes sense, and that you don't have a weird experience with it, or you think, why is this like this? But yeah, it's focused on a very tight experience. And of course, if you do want that customization and all that crazy stuff, it is always possible for you to change to the SimHub layout. And that's what we're gonna do right here. This is an example of a SimHub layout. Right now it's not implemented, so you can actually see it running, but we will have SimHub support at launch. This is an early version of RaceHub, so you won't be able to see it update right here, right now. We do have support for our overlays on top of SimHub if you want to, or you can just disable them. You can of course not have our units and rotational elements in SimHub because that's not supported. And last but not least, we do have a new idle mode. So we have this new Aurora mode, which is based on the Aurora display intro screen we have going on. So it's the same color scheme and everything. We try to make a little cool display, so once you have your display in idle mode, everything kind of matches. Of course, like with everything else, you can just turn it off and it'll be like this instead. So this has been me showing off a bit about the new Invicta wheel and all the new cool software features we have for it. And I hope you will enjoy it. It's been awesome to work on. It's a really, really freaking cool project. this whole display and all the stuff we've achieved with it so far, and all the systems we've created to actually make this content, has been an awesome experience, because we've managed to create a lot of very cool tools that allow us to do a lot of quick development with the display in the future. So once we have it in your hands, you can give us your feedback on what the things you would like us to do in the future, and then we can quickly implement them so we can get a new update out and have more stuff in the display layout selector in the future. Yeah, it took like over a year to develop, and it's been a long road to see all this coming. And then we announced the Invicta wheel soft, announced it like way back in the day. So it's been cool to actually be able to show it off to you guys for the first time, because it is something special. I think the Invicta display is gonna be one of the best products on the market for display wheels, and I can't wait to see what the future brings for it.